What up, motherfuckers? It's another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. This week, I'm coming at you from the ground floor of World 1-1 Studios headquarters. With me tonight, Kathy, Lord of the Stream,
Hey, everybody.
Dylan Drinky Pants,
Yep.
Eddie Blackman V,
Days Gone is perfect.
and Josh the
Being
Lizard.
average.
Hello.
Before we dig in, you can and should, as always, find us at our home on Podbean at world11.podbean.com. All spelled out, all one word. iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify. Like the Facebook page, follow the Twitter. Instagram's a thing that's being developed. Hit up the Twitch channel and check out all the fun live stream stuff like this right now. And peep the YouTube channel where you should subscribe, and then ring the notification bell and beat that little button and like it owes you fucking money and it's a redheaded stepchild. All right, so this week a little bit different because there's kind of been some stuff floating around, and it's too much for one segment. I've literally spent the day kind of torn. I'm like, do we news desk? Do we deep dive? So decided, fuck it, we're gonna do both. So this week, we're tossing, oh my god, video games out the fucking window. We're going to jump in with News Desk. So, big thing. Epic bought Psyonix.
Yes.
Dylan, you had some feelings about this because you've had a lot of feelings about Epic.
Dylan's angry. He's angry.
Yeah. I mean, same kind of story that I feel about Epic. Like I'm getting pissed at this point with them. Like I was mildly annoyed, and now I'm just like, where's their headquarters? Should I drive there? Like what do I need to do to deal with these guys? Like competition's good. I'm all about the competition until like it starts affecting me. Like,
Can I say that this is not big news or important?
No.
Because
No.
like Psyonix only made one game.
yeah,
Incorrect.
and it's the shit.
I mean, it's good, it's fun, it's playable, but
They've
it's just
made
like
more than one game.
it's
Check your
Yeah,
history,
they
son.
did make more than one game.
what else did they make?
They made
Rocket
another.
League had a predecessor.
Yeah, they made a game that was like
wasn't that
Rocket League.
before isn't that before anyone paid any attention to it?
Sure,
Yeah,
but they still made
They
more than one game.
One game.
Well, even if they made more than one game, then it's not a. I don't think it's a big deal to anybody. Epic doing this to, I guess, build something for
Dude,
their company.
It's just a
like,
dick move. Like any way you cut it, it's a dick move.
No,
You're
it
gonna
isn't.
like
No,
it is.
I don't
Yeah, it
think
is.
so.
I don't.
You
I,
buy,
Go ahead.
you
I
buy a
don't-
game.
Go ahead,
I-
Dylan.
You buy
Go
a
ahead.
game,
Go
okay, and then like a game that's already established. Okay, like do what you want with like new IPs or new games coming out, get your exclusives, whatever, fine. But that's like taking, I don't know, like it would never happen, but like let's say Xbox, Microsoft somehow bought Zelda, okay, and they're like, hey, we're not going to sell Zelda on Nintendo. You tell me people wouldn't be pissed? Yeah, people are going to be pissed. It's dumb.
Got access to it.
It's a
Yeah,
dick.
I would say you can't undo the sales that have already
Right.
been made. It still
I mean-
exists.
Sure, yeah, but it's people that like have that game like cross-platform play, Steam, Microsoft, whatever, that want to play on the Steam store. Like maybe they haven't bought it yet or whatever, and then they go to buy it, and oh no, now you got to buy it on Epic. I'm
No.
not saying it's not going to be cross platform, but it just seems petty.
well, the thing,
Like
I wonder is what is
That's
Epic
not
going to
petty.
gain?
That's business.
That is
Uh,
totally
what-
business.
What
Yeah,
is Epic?
sure.
But what is Epic going to gain out of this business? Are they going to make Psyonix make more games and stuff? Because I'm just like, if you bought this company to for them not to have one game on another platform, but keep the game on other platforms. I agree with you, Dylan, that yeah, it's a dick move. But then I'm just like, you Epic just wasted money buying a company for one popular game. Like, what sense does that make? Like, if you was
Well-
going to spend some money, spend it on someone who got a well established foundation in games for years. That will really hurt Steam.
I don't think they're
You
trying
know.
to hurt Steam. They're just trying to
I-
offer something
it's not
else
gonna
that they don't
hurt
have.
them.
That they don't
I
have.
just think it's a dick move to buy a fucking IP and then just be like, that's already established on, a marketplace, and then be like, oh, now we're not going to sell it on this marketplace. Like, okay, fuck you too, Sony. Like, it just seems like it's very anti, like, consumer. And sure, it's probably great for their business. It's just, I'm not going to buy any Epic shit, like, as a
But
person.
But I would say this: Epic hopefully better learn that if they think they gonna one up Valve or anybody, just remember what happened with Microsoft after they bought Rare and how all of that turned out from Nintendo.
But that was totally different too.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, Rare was going to kind of a bigger platform at that time with Microsoft, and Microsoft should have put Rare to some good use than Nintendo, and they did not. We got grabbed by the ghoulies. We got Perfect Dark Zero. We got that cameo and stuff. Like, they weren't putting out high quality stuff like Rare was doing when they was with Nintendo.
Yeah, but all they're
with the
doing is just taking Rocket League and putting it exclusively on the Epic Game Store. Like,
That's it. That's it.
That's all they're doing. They're not like buying the IP to do anything else with it. They're just like, nah, now Steam
Well, that
can't
we
have
know
this.
of right now.
Sure,
And I
but
think-
like,
and I
it's
think-
really all it is just being like, I'm going
you're-
to buy
you're
something,
right.
you can't have it. Like,
Right.
And I think everybody pretty much got their full of Rocket League. Like, if you already own the game, digital or physical,
You
like,
got it. Yeah.
like,
you
what is
got
it going to matter to you? Epic's wasted money on the game that's what, 5 or 6 years old. I'm like,
right?
really?
But maybe they're going to come out with a Rocket League 2.
Well, another thing we don't know is how much money are they actually making on transactions at this point, digital
Right, most
transactions.
of it's probably digital transactions.
And they're making a lot of money because Psyonix created
And
a
that's
whole
another
part
question.
of their
Are
company.
the people that are on Steam going to be able to buy digital transactions?
I don't see why they wouldn't be able to buy the new ones, but most of the revenue, obviously is going to get a cut to Steam and whatnot. But who knows? Maybe not. I don't think they will do that because they do have a good history of, having every platform just be the kind of the same. Because you have to, especially if you're doing cross play. So you have to offer the same. Well, you don't have to actually offer it, but you have to, have it, available on each system. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
That's
think it's
fucking
going to
crash and
disappear
burn.
from any system either.
No. I mean, if you do read about, like, I did read an article with Tim Sweeney and how he was talking about, because Epic Game Store is saying 18% is what their cut is, and Valve is taking 30%. They said 30% is not sustainable for developers to keep giving to just Steam just because all they have is a store. And
Right.
Tim Sweeney even said in the article that if Valve stopped saying they're going to take 30% and just do like what Epic Store is doing, do 18%, Epic would even stop trying to get exclusives. They would
I
say,
don't believe that for a second.
I do believe it because Tim Sweeney, first of all, is a billionaire. He doesn't need the money. Same with Gabe.
Yeah, but
But
they
the
also
whole thing-
said that they were going to stop doing, like, after Metro, like, the backlash from Metro, they said they were going to stop doing timed exclusives, and then they did boom, boom, boom. Time, like, it was,
for the last 3.
yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, who knows if those deals were already in place?
I'm just saying, you say publicly, and then you announce, like,
Right.
you know,
Personally, I'm all for it. I mean, I want the competition in the PC space because I don't like one company having control over everything.
I'm for competition. I'm not for fucking petty dumb shit. Like I said before, I'm fine with them doing their timed IPs.
Right.
I don't have to agree with it, but I think it's a smart business move.
Like-
This to me seems petty. It doesn't seem like a tactical business move. They're not going to make
Right.
a ton of money on fucking Rocket League.
They
You know,
don't
just-
need to. They've
My
got Fortnite.
suspicion is they're looking at the long game too.
Exactly.
Because my guess is they're probably got to look at something that Psyonix is working on that may still be a ways off, and said, "Yeah, the way Rocket League did, we want in on this.
Right.
We're
Right.
just
But I
gonna
think
pick this
Epic
up
is.
now and lock it down."
I think Epic's just too late for
But
them.
look at
to-
Microsoft with Minecraft, kind of the same way. Like they bought Minecraft for $2 billion after how many billions of dollars in sales,
Mhm.
and they're playing a long game, so they're investing their money because it's better to invest their money in that than it is to put it in. Let's just say just a bank account, and let it sit there.
But and
Because you're gonna
Microsoft
get
is
more.
and Microsoft is working like every year they got some great content coming out to
Right.
market.
And so why maybe Epic's going to put that financial backing on Psyonix, and they're going to reinvent Rocket League, or they're going to put more into it than Psyonix
what's-
is doing now.
Did Rocket League even run on Unreal Engine?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was,
I
wasn't
think
it?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah,
Unreal. I wonder if it's Unreal 3 or 4.
it's Unreal 3. I
Unreal
believe.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
No, fuck them.
well, we shall see.
I'm also curious here, Dylan, because I know part of your complaint in the chat earlier today was, "What's this no return policy bullshit?" And then LeGroux dropped a link to the return policy.
Yeah,
I'm
that
kind of
surprised
curious
me.
what you're feeling on that was.
Well,
what
Well,
that
no, I'm
thing
glad.
says.
Like, because as
Well,
far
didn't-
as I knew, they didn't have one. So I'm curious as to when
those-
they came out with
I
it.
Right,
You know
'cause I
what's
was going to
so-
chime
hold
in
on.
too.
So, Josh,
I think Eddie and
Can
I
you-
had it. We did an episode on it.
Yeah,
Josh, can you break down what the return policy for Epic Store is?
It's
So it's
basically
pretty much
that.
the same as Steam.
It's the same as Steam. You have
Yeah.
what is it? 14 days,
14
less than
days,
2
less than
hours,
two-
less than 2 hours of play. You'll be able to exchange it or return your game.
Okay.
So for pretty much, it's the same as Steam. It's like
Yeah.
sentence
That's
for
solid. I'm a fan of that. I got no beef with that at all. Then, like, I'm glad they have one.
yeah. And I was going to say too. I mean, I know it was posted somewhere, and I swear we talked about it. That no, it wasn't there at launch. They did post out a timeline, say yes, there are some things that aren't here, but here's the timeline. We're rolling them out. We're letting you know it's coming. It's already on the table. It's slated. It's in the works. Here's the rollout plan. And
Right.
the return policy was on that. I swear to Christ.
Oh, I'm sure
was.
it is. I
Mhm.
don't pay attention to their timeline. I don't care. Like, I have no interest in their storefront as it sits now. Like, I check on it from time to time. What? What?
That's awesome.
but
This
But
shit
there's-
happens in real time, kids.
but I'm assuming the store isn't like up to par still as the Steam.
No. And they say that they're not going to have all the bells and whistles of Steam. They know they're not going to. They're just going to be a store.
Hmm. I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that too.
I don't need the bells and whistles and nuts and bolts.
I just need show me the game. Here's how much it costs.
Hmm. And don't let it get fucking out of hand.
No,
I like the Steam stores out of hand. I prefer the chaos. Like, I like that anybody can put anything on there because there's people that want weird shit. Like,
right.
Mhm.
you
That's
know,
true.
you
I
know,
agree with
so
you.
let it run its course. Like, people will buy it or they won't. It doesn't matter. It's not hurting anybody for it to be there. You know,
And Steam does AO
It
games
should
now,
be
right?
organized, though.
it is organized. There's all kinds of categories.
And then Steam does AO games, right? Now,
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
They always have. They do have a line though, because they have that one game that was like a rape simulator that they just
Yeah.
said,
Mhm.
we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Like, we know where the line is. Okay, the line is
Right.
there. Don't go beyond that. That's fine.
But they got something like Hatred on. I think Hatred is on Steam.
I think it got removed.
I think it's removed now. Yep,
Yeah.
that was removed a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're hard pressed though to put something out severe enough that Steam finally actually removes something. And that's the other thing too. Is a lot of time too is Steam doesn't remove something until there's mass outcry of the fuck were you thinking letting this on? Here?
I
Because nothing was
honestly
getting checked in the first place. Like it
don't
should.
think they should. Like, I don't think that that's Steam's prerogative. Like, people should buy
should
the
be some
game
fucking
or
standards.
be outraged or whatever. Like, the marketplace is going to decide on whether or not people buy the game. If it's an outrageous game, it's going to get bombed. It's going to, and then it'll catch the attention. And if it's called to be removed, they'll remove it. I don't think that there should be like a pre-screening necessarily, to a line, of games. Like I said, I mean, I don't even think Hatred was. I mean, yeah, it's
Apparently still on Steam.
Is
yeah,
it?
I just looked it
$3.
up. $2.99.
I was just about to say, I don't even think it really should be removed. Like
It's not that bad. I mean,
right. There's
worse
games.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make points about, bad games, but people are going to buy them or they're not, and I don't I'll make this argument until I'm blue in the face. Video games don't create violence. Okay. They don't.
No, they don't.
No, I don't.
But there is such thing as bad taste.
People
beyond-
want to
sure.
Right.
People want to pick and choose how video games bring violence because it doesn't make sense that a video game when a teenager plays it makes them violent, but when an adult do something like of a violent crime and never played a violent video game or anything, no one says anything about that.
Yeah. It's dumb. Like, it's just dumb. Like, people have their own opinion. Like, I mean, back in the 60s, 70s, it was music. Now it's video games. There's always going to be something to point fingers at, as long as it's not guns. So.
Yeah. What else you got, Larry?
Sonic
Larry?
the Hedgehog movie trailer drops.
Oh, God.
Yep, we're going there. We're gonna go there real fast.
I'm gonna go watch
See
it.
what I did there?
I can honestly say I'm gonna go watch it.
I think it looks fun.
I do too. Like, this is not the worst thing that's come out of the internet. I swear, seriously.
No, not even close.
No, I'm not. You guys let me know. Let me know what you think.
Kathleen, any
I'll
thoughts?
tell you something that I did think was interesting though. Watch that trailer. Not once did they actually mention Sonic's name.
No.
It's there in
they didn't.
text, but not one single person in that trailer said Sonic.
No. They didn't.
Not that it's
I think they're
important.
gonna
It's
make
just
him an
weird. It
alien.
stuck out to me. I don't know.
Kathleen, any thoughts?
No feelings about Sonic. What about Jim Carrey? I'm all for seeing Jim Carrey do some stuff again.
I
Yeah.
kind of like Jim Carrey as Eggman, Dr. Robotnik.
I think he did
I
it
do
well.
too.
Yeah.
That dude is like the modern day fucking Picasso, by the way. If you've never seen that dude's art, you should.
Oh yeah, on that what was that Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee? Did you watch that one?
No, there's like a whole fucking special about Jim Carrey's like paintings and shit. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Seinfeld. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
There's an episode with Jim Carrey, and like he actually takes him to his loft and shows him all around. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
that he's done some really fucking neat shit. It's one of those like he disappeared off the face of like Hollywood
Right.
and cinema forever, and you're like, really? That's what he did? Like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking amazing, but that's what he did.
But what else you got in the news? Larry?
Honestly, those are the couple of things that have really stuck out to me that I really wanted to hit on.
You know, it comes out in a couple of weeks.
Which one?
Detective
Did you
Pikachu.
say the Pikachu?
Yes.
Fuck yeah!
I want to see that
It's
too.
gonna be Olivia's first movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Golden Week is on PlayStation Network. I don't know if any of you guys are getting any games if you own PSN. Wonder why Xbox didn't do it or Nintendo.
What was that, Eddie?
Golden Week.
Sale.
Yeah,
Oh, didn't they do a spring sale just recently?
they
I
did,
thought there
but
was some stuff on Nintendo for Golden Week.
The
Did
fuck is Golden Week?
Yeah,
It's
the
a-
Wii. It's in Japan. It's in
Yeah.
Japan.
because one of their eras just like switched, and like during this time they put a big sale on all like Japanese related games and stuff. So something like Nier Automata or Persona 5, that stuff that goes like a really big deep discount.
How did you guys
and-
feel? Sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
How did you guys feel about the Persona 5S debut?
Scramble.
I'm not into Persona, so go ahead.
Oh,
It's
man.
not my bag.
Persona's
I think
good.
some people were disappointed, but because we're getting Shin Megami Tensei 5 for Switch, a lot of people want us to see that. They were hoping for to play Persona 5, but everybody was just like, if it did come to Switch, they would get it there and beat it on there instead of playing it on PlayStation, because they would have more time on the go to play it than
Right.
playing it out. So like people, they were cool about it.
fuck is
it
going
looks
on
nice.
in my house?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it looks nice, but I think with us having Shin Megami Tensei and Dragon Quest 11 S coming to Switch, and like some that Square Enix RPG, like there's a lot of stuff coming to Switch that I think Persona 5 would have got just like overlooked.
Yeah,
So-
probably.
Yeah, I mean, still would have been dope. I was a little disappointed. Like, I mean, dope scramble, I guess. Basically, a Warriors game, which Warriors games aren't really my thing. Every time I try them, like I like them for like half an hour, and then I'm like, okay, I've seen everything this game has to offer. Like,
The Hyrule Warrior one was really good. That
Yeah.
game was really good. I do want to play the Gundam one. I heard that one was good on PlayStation.
I
It always looked
played.
to me like the real fun was in multiplayer with those.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played the Fire Emblem one, which I enjoyed, but I didn't get. Like I said, it's pretty. It just gets boring after a little while.
Yeah, I gotta
Unfortunately.
finish it.
All right, so I got one more, and as a precursor here, I'm gonna let you know, because the way we're doing this and what this story is and what deep dive is happening, we're tossing bonus round out the window this week. So announcement came out today: new Earthworm Jim coming exclusive to the Intellivision Amico,
Fucking
Really?
what?
with 10 out of 12 of the original crew coming back.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you totally threw me out of there.
The Intellivision Amigo.
The new Intellivision.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's their
Uh,
new console.
There's
Yeah.
a new Intel. What is going? I've
Yeah, I know.
We
with
can
my
talk
head
about
it's like
this.
It's like 2019, but it's really like 1985.
Yeah, they the people who are making this game, I think one of them is the president of a television or something like that.
Yep,
So they're
Tommy
creating.
Yes.
Tallarico, who's joined us on the show a couple years back.
So they are building
I will
a
drop the link to that
system.
interview in the show notes, by the way. So
They
That's
are
a good
building. They are building a system, and I think that's going to be their first game for it. That's what I know, because like everybody's just like, I know nothing about the system. People were excited for the game, but they didn't know that it was coming to that. They was thinking it was going to be like on Switch,
Switch. Yeah.
or something, or PC or something.
So
What the
here's
hell?
how this
What
whole
the
thing
hell?
kind of strings together. Let me draw the line for you here. So Tommy Tallarico last summer gets named new president for Intellivision. Shortly thereafter, announces Intellivision is working on a new box. They're going to get back in the console game.
I didn't know Intellivision was still around.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, from there, official announcement comes out of the Intellivision Amico, and I'll see if I can dig up the video trailer, teaser, whatever you want to call for it, of the Amico and throw that in the show notes too. And I would highly suggest on Break you guys check it out. But I'm actually genuinely intrigued. It's going to be a coin toss because it's going to hit. I think it's going to carve out an interesting niche, but I don't know. I'm curious to see how well it manages to do in a 3 console market that's stayed essentially 3 consoles for how long now?
Well, I mean, it's coming out. I think they said October 2020 or something like that.
Yes.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
So, yeah. I think around that time we'll probably see what PlayStation 5 and Xbox's new system, or even what PC chip is out at that time, what is going to be talked about during that. This Intellivision, I don't think
it doesn't look great.
It's
looking at
it's a indie box.
It really is. So
you use your phone as controllers, and it comes with 2 wireless controllers with a D-pad and a touch pad.
Basically, it's been made to be a contemporary, more updated version of the original Intellivision controller with the touchpad and the knobby thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, so to finish stringing this all together as to how this came to be, bearing in mind that Tommy Tallarico was one of the original crew on Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. And again, if check the show notes below here, but and listen to the interview, because A, it's a fantastic interview, and B, you're going to get some insight and a little bit of history as to why in the hell a new Earthworm Jim took so fucking long. But the TLDR here is that Tommy and the rest of the crew had been trying for years to get the rights to Earthworm Jim from the company that bought it up and basically held it hostage for insanely unreasonable amounts of money for an IP that they literally weren't doing anything with and just wanted to fucking sit on. So apparently somewhere they managed to strike a deal with them, and they've managed to wrangle up 10 of the original 12 that made Earthworm Jim and bring him back for a new Earthworm Jim. To that end, though, there's also been some immediate ruckus over one of the members involved, Doug Tenopel, who, aside from Earthworm Jim, is also of Neverhood fame as well. So, because Tenopel is one of those that tends to get the ire up over his views, and I'm not siding one way or the other. I'm trying to take a particularly objective approach here. We're going to get more into this kind of issue with deep dive after the break, but with the advent of social media and Tenopel opening his mouth, he kind of falls on the wrong side of popular opinion, we'll call it. And if you really want more, honestly, go look at his Twitter and y'all can fucking figure out what's going on here. I'm not dragging myself into the middle of it, but it should be pointed out, and this is kind of where the ruckus came from. And again, I'm not looking to take sides here when it comes to deep dive, but I think there is a definite conversation to be had that doesn't involve taking sides per se, but a little more on how do you balance your ethics against the art versus artist. Who do you support or not support, and why, and where do you draw the line, kind of thing. But we'll get there with deep dive. But that's, like I said, it was kind of like one big cascading roll of news. It went from, hey, coming out of Tommy and Intellivision, hey, we got an announcement coming up. Hey, we got new Earthworm Jim coming. Hey, we got almost the entire fucking crew, and then word got around. Oh yeah, part of that crew is Tenopple, and then everyone went, "Fuck this," and fuck Tenopple. So yeah, that was real interesting to see how fast that rolled out within a matter of hours today. Like, I shit you not, this morning by noon, I was already fucking tired of seeing it on. I'm like, ah.
I only just seen one person say about it. Like, I messaged you.
I saw it all over.
Yeah, I messaged you, Larry, saying that this is the first time of me hearing it, so I knew nothing about it.
So, I will say though, and I wish I could remember exactly which website published the article, but if you're listening, you fucking know who you are. In any case, they made a comment, something to the effect of, Tenopple's Twitter account's been inactive, since last summer. I'm like, no, it hasn't, you idiot. Fucking open Twitter and do like 30 seconds worth of fucking research. That dude posts on the fucking regular, you moron. I'm not defending Tenopple by any means, but I am going to say, if you're going to do fucking journalism, fucking do the journalism. Seriously, open Twitter, search Tenopple. You can go back, post it a day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 hours ago, just down the line. Don't tell me this dude hasn't posted literally anything on Twitter since summer. Fuck off with that shit. God, not hard. I shouldn't have to do your fucking job for you. Ugh. Anyways, that's all I got. It was enough of news to bring up. Compound that with the fact that Tommy's involved in friend of the show, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Tommy's work in general, and so I was super pumped to kind of fucking see it, and I'm pumped for him because again, you go back in that interview, and this dude has wanted this shit to happen for years and years and years, and it just wasn't able to because somebody was being a dick with some IP rights and money. So it's nice to see it. It makes me happy to see it. They've managed to work something out to where they can finally make this shit happen. So hurrah. Anyways, anybody got anything else?
No.
Not at the moment.
All right, sweet titties. This is the part where we say break, and welcome back. So this is the back half of the show. This week, we normally reserve the back half of the show for News Desk or Deep Dive, but this week we've done something a little bit different, and we threw News Desk up at the front half, and we kicked Oh My God video games to the fucking curb this week, and so that means for the back half of the show we're getting into Deep Dive. So this week, with the Earthworm Jim Doug Tenopple thing happening in the news, I want to kind of take a look at art versus the artist. This is not the first time that this has come up in the video game industry, though it definitely feels a little bit louder this time, or at least so far. And obviously it's early. This whole thing is less than 24 hours old as of recording, but this goes back a number of years to some previous incarnations, multiple games that I can think of off the top of my head, though those couple of games have the same artist involved, though. Both Shadow Complex and Advent Rising with Orson Scott Card involved. And actually Advent Rising also had Tommy Tallarico involved. So there you go. There's a common thread. We're going to play 7 Degrees of Separation, kids. So, we've got games that are fantastic, like Shadow Complex is absolutely spectacular, but you also get some pushback from the gaming community due to some of the people that were involved in it. Like with the new Earthworm Jim and Doug Tenopple and Shadow Complex and Orson Scott Card over some of their personal beliefs and viewpoints on various topics and subject matter that they've been vocal on. Though I will say, at least as somebody that's read quite a bit of Orson Scott Card, and played Earthworm Jim, and I also played the shit out of the Neverhood. But I don't see any of that viewpoint, any of that personal belief, viewpoint, or content making its way into those games, or in Card's case, his books. So it comes down to, do you separate the art from the artist? And if not, where do you draw the line? Or if you do, where do you draw the line? Do you continue to enjoy the content that they put out, even though you disagree firmly with their viewpoints and beliefs that they've been public about, even if it has nothing to do with the content that they make? And I think this could be summed up nicely as this is the Chick-fil-A debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I love chicken and I love gays, but Chick-fil-A is great.
Chick-fil-A is okay. It's not all that. That tastes better.
Pretty damn good for fast food chicken.
It's not that great. It's not that good.
It's okay. Yeah.
My son.
Chick-fil-A is all about the waffle fries and Polynesian sauce.
I tasted better also with that, but we'll
But
move
then
on
again,
from
look
that.
at where you live, Eddie. Come on. I'm sorry. There's a lot of stuff up there that's better. Some
Yeah,
of us
you kind of
can't.
live in a food hub.
So, for those of us like where I'm at, there isn't much
Yeah,
really to talk about.
Get
I mean-
to, like, whatever we want.
But
you
King
know?
Gyros, King
Anyhow.
Gyros, Larry, that's
I
my
know.
spot.
So,
And the chicken guy at the gas station.
Portafit.
But yeah, it the thing about it is you don't want to support an artist who has a certain type of view about a certain group of people, because that feel, even though there's other people who contribute to making a video game and you want to support everybody else, you don't want to support this person who is going to be the representative of that product. And so if your views and stuff gets out and you feel a certain type of way against a certain type of group of people who may enjoy that genre of games, you're hurting yourself, and there's a way that you're going to be hurting that company too. When we look at, of course, Randy Pitchford, everybody brings that up, but when you look at this, first of all, people weren't, I feel like, and this may just be me reading it, I don't think people even care that Earthworm Jim got announced. I haven't seen no big woo-ha or yes to this compared to something of like Our World was being announced or something, or a remake to Snatch, or something that was kind of a little bit bigger and well known, and people were surprised about it. I don't think a lot of people didn't really talk about Earthworm Jim being announced. So I think you're putting it on a platform, first of all, that a lot of people, gamers, don't know about. So they're not really going to care about it. So finding out who this person is that's making the game, I don't think that's going to hurt the sales of this game. I think people are just don't even care about Earthworm Jim and this announcement.
All right. So, removing it specifically from Earthworm Jim, Shadow Complex. Big platform install base. Fantastic game. A genre that at that time did not have any real significant console presence. And, again, Orson Scott Card's name attached to it in terms of writing.
Right.
Same question, though.
Well,
So-
what did the guy do? Like, fill me in on the blanks here.
He don't like gays, so he's homophobic. So
Well, But he
So-
makes good games, so I guess I'm back in the Chick-fil-A scenario. Like, if I
My
like your
point
chicken,
exactly.
I'm gonna
Right.
eat chicken. Like, I don't have
But
to.
his viewpoint, I think, was like a little bit strict. Instead of being someone who kind of accepts everybody, it kind of feels like because you are homophobic, you don't want even gay people to play your game and stuff. And so that becomes a representation of people who are like not homophobic and who respect the video gaming community and feel like everybody should be able to play. They feel like when you don't like one group of people, you don't want them playing the game, I'm not going to support you because you feel that way. You're not accepting of all gamers. It only seems that you want certain gamers to play this. So if gay people can't play this game, then straight people shouldn't play this game.
Well, I mean, I think people have money, right? So they can play the damn game if they want to play it.
Well, yeah. But the thing about it is, I think with Shadow Complex, I think when it came out, people didn't know about it until after the game came out. Then people brought it.
Let's say the dude comes out with another game, and the game's dope.
Well, with Shadow Complex, it was based on the book, so the author of it.
Listen, all I'm saying, like, okay, like Van Gogh makes dope, like, paintings, right? All right, and then Van Gogh comes out and he's like, I hate, like, gays and French people, okay? Van Gogh's paintings are still dope, all right? Like, yeah, that's a douche move, like, and gays and French people don't have to support his stuff.
Right.
But
there's going to be some people. There's going to be some people who think that stuff doesn't matter. It is about the art, but that connection is that you feel a certain type of way about a certain group of people, and I don't want to support that. I don't want to give you some kind of support because of your belief. You could be a dope artist, but I could find another dope artist who could equal or do something better than you, who feels more acceptable to people.
He might not have Starry Night though. You know, the other dope artist.
That's completely fine. Of course, art is subjective, but you know, some people would be like, I'd rather go, you know, if this author who made Shadow Complex feel this way about this game. If Axiom Verge was out and Tom Happ didn't feel that way, I'm going to go play Axiom Verge and skip Shadow Complex because Tom Happ will be more accepting of people and he wants everyone to play his game. And I'd rather play that than putting my money into someone who believes a certain group of people shouldn't be existed or shouldn't play their game or just feel that type of way, you know?
I'll put it like this. Okay, this is the easiest, because I'm not gay, so whatever. But like Borderlands, right? When that dude, the guy from Borderlands, told everybody to like basically stop bitching. All right, that pissed me off. Made me feel a certain kind of way. All right. I don't have to support his thing, right? But I know deep down inside, I can fuss and muss all I want. I'm buying that shit because I love Borderlands. I can't not have it. It's my crack. I'm gonna eat the chicken. Okay, like, yeah, fuck that guy. But also, Borderlands.
I mean,
not play Borderlands.
The thing with Borderlands is that there are people who feel a way about Randy Pitchford, definitely with the Endless Colonial Marine stuff and the way he just handled that. With Borderlands, it's more about, you know, Borderlands has a fan base and a lot of people played it and everything. And I think when Borderlands 1 came out, all the stuff about Randy Pitchford wasn't known at that time. When all of that stuff came out, that's when viewpoints about him started to change, and the way that he's acting is pushing some people away from buying the game. Like I said, it's one of those things that when you become the representation of that product, people who still want to play Borderlands and still want to buy it, they will, because they believe in supporting Gearbox or they believe in supporting that developer. They really hate the fact that they also have to support that person who's saying those things. You
I'm gonna
know.
be real with you, Eddie. I don't give a shit about the developers or whatever. All I care about is how many guns do I get to shoot.
But you have to care about the developers because they're the ones that's creating the product for you to feel that way about the guns.
I don't like.
Right.
They're all faceless to me. All those people
Mhm.
are faceless numbers. Like,
Yeah.
they're
But
dope.
they're the ones that's doing the hard work and not Randy Pitchford. That's the thing about it.
Sure, but Randy Pitchford's a bitch. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
Land is dope. So Chick-fil-A chicken's dope. Shadow Complex is dope. Kevin Spacey's dope. Okay, he's a terrible human being, but every movie that dude is in is gold.
Sorry, K-Pax is fucking legit.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't know. I don't know what to say beyond like.
Well, it's up to it. Like you said earlier, it depends on where you want to put your money at. It's just that a lot of people feel that way when a certain developer or person is saying something that connects to a community or connects to a group of people. Even though they're in charge of this great product, it doesn't mean that they're actually making it. They become the representation of that product because you like it or not. Who is these magazines and journalists and podcasters and stuff are talking to? They're talking to that one person to do all the marketing for that game. They're not talking to other developers that's on a team or that's in the credits. They're not talking to them.
I'm
So-
not saying people shouldn't,
Mhm.
you know, protested or not spend their money out. Like me, like I won't buy Borderlands on Epic Games. I won't do it. I will wait the 6 months, or I'll just buy it on console. Like,
Which everybody's probably going to do. They're probably going to buy it on console than they will on PC.
right? Like it's just pushing me into a different area. It's
Mhm.
fine, you know, whatever. I'll do it that way. Just because fuck that dude, and also fuck Epic Game Store. Like that's just how I feel about it. We've
Here's
been
a
over
question for you. If Borderlands 3 was PC exclusive, would you still hold off?
Yeah, I wouldn't if he didn't say, if he hadn't have said stop bitching about it. Like if that dude didn't say something, I probably would have cracked under like I would have wanted my fix and got it on Epic Game Store. But I mean, his comments just pissed me off. I'm like, fuck you. I'll buy it on Steam anyway.
I think
Yeah.
I think that would be a mistake on that decision if he said PC exclusive because I don't think PC is a bigger market like console is at the moment. Not knocking PC players or anything.
Oh,
But-
I know. I'm just talking in a pure hypothetical for
Yeah.
Dylan.
I just feel like I think the PC would do well for Borderlands, but I think when sales and numbers get reported about that game, it would have been more on console than on PC.
Right.
At this
Yeah.
time.
So, Josh, what about you? Where do you sit on drawing the line separating art and artist with this kind of thing?
This kind of thing, I mean, I kind of am in Dylan's camp a little bit. If the person has a good, if they have a good product or a good experience, I'm probably going to enjoy it either way.
Yeah.
But I also do see the point. If it's something so offensive to me personally, I probably wouldn't want to support the person. But in a way, there's not that much that's that offensive to me. I'm pretty much open to anybody's viewpoints. I mean, you have the right to feel however you want.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I feel. Even if you feel like, I mean, I got an argument with my boss a couple of days ago because she basically told me, that I told her she lied or whatever. And I just said, yeah, that's a valid point, but I don't really care. It's just,
Right.
if we have a product or we have something we're doing, I'm just if I like it, I'm going to enjoy it, I think. And I do, there is a line, that said there is a line. Like if the product was super offensive, obviously I would personally just abstain from it. But I think just like, like Randy Pitchford, and that's not going to stop me from playing Borderlands 3. I mean, I'm going to buy it on console. That's what I was going to buy it on anyway. So, I mean, That's just how I. This is how I am.
Yeah. And Kathy.
We're looking at this from just the point of view for here in the United States, and I think that's something we're looking at. And unfortunately, our society, we're moving towards a society where you have to, we're trying, where we got a lot of loud voices who are trying to make us all think one particular way. One way is the right way. Anything else, these other views are bad. So what we're seeing a lot in the media is because somebody does not believe in homosexuality, that makes them automatically the worst human being in the entire world. Whereas, so we're trying to force people into a certain pattern now. And in America, that is not what we are based on. You have the right to feel the way you want to feel. You have the right to believe what you want to believe. That's what makes our country, our nation, so wonderful, and why everybody's trying to get their asses in here. When it comes to the art, the problem is now we're associating people's beliefs with their content. And while I see your viewpoint, Eddie, and I understand that, but that's your personal feeling. And you're entitled to that personal feeling. And I support that. You don't want to support somebody who is anti-gay, does not believe in homosexuality, doesn't believe in certain lifestyles. That's your choice. The problem, and you're not doing this, but there are people who have the same viewpoint as you who are trying to force others to, like in the case I'm going to use Dylan, to change Dylan's mind. Like, Dylan is a horrible person because he doesn't feel the exact same way. Unfortunately, this is leading to people now, as we're seeing in the media, get completely lambasted as you cannot like something because this one person is this way. I do believe we need to separate the art from the artist. I hate Jim Carrey's views. We talked about Jim Carrey earlier. I hate his views, but I will not sit here and say he is not a talented artist. Would I buy some of his work? There are some pieces that I would consider supporting. Even though I hate his views, I think he is his views are horrendous and wrong, in my opinion. I still think he is a great artist, and I still think his artwork is amazing. It's the same with video games. Look at how we play games from Japan. Look at how Japanese people treat some of their members of society. Certain levels. We still support them. We don't go and say, oh, but these people are so against disabled people. We shouldn't buy their stuff. Do we ever talk about that? No. We're just so focused on what's going on in our society, in our culture, and we are in that point in our society where any viewpoint you have is going to, or anything you do, is potential to destroy your life. I think that people just need to accept that everyone's going to have their different views. Yes, the people who don't want to buy the game don't need to buy the game. You don't support that developer's viewpoints, don't buy the damn fucking game. Nothing's gonna they don't care. There will be plenty of people who will buy it. Same on the other end. People who are very, I'm against the feminist movement. I would never buy anything that has to do with the feminist movement. But that's me. I don't care. Anybody else wants to support them, go. Do it. But it should be a choice. And people need to stop dictating and trying to convince people from having their free choice. And that's what I'm scared is going to happen as we move forward, that people are we're going to start changing from being able to have that free choice to do what we want, because other people's voices are getting louder and louder and trying to force us into having to all think and be the same way.
Excuse me. Everybody's putting themselves in these boxes. It's like, if you don't support gays, you're this way. If you don't support, immigration, you're this way. If you don't, blah 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 blah. And everybody, like, I'm politically, I would consider like a moderate. I fall somewhere in between. Which most people do, I think. Yeah. I share a lot of liberal views. I share a lot of conservative views. I'm a gun owner, but I think that there needs to be gun restriction. There's a lot of levels and layers to people's personalities.
There's
and I think
there's a lot of
really
balance,
fair.
and there's a lot. It sounds like you have a lot of balance, Dylan. Like you could balance between both and accept both and disagree with both, which is great. Which is great. I think in the matter of this context with him, you got to think that okay, if you are against gays and stuff like that, you may actually have a gay developer on your team. Are they now like really not valued and you don't
Not
want them?
necessarily, because
That's
you
not
don't
what they're
understand.
saying,
That's
though.
not, but that's not
well-
necessarily. Having known people who are
Mhm.
anti-gay because of their religious beliefs, that doesn't mean
Yeah.
they don't still love people and still work with them and still treat them with the respect. They just don't agree with their lifestyle. That does not mean that that person cannot have that lifestyle. Who cares? Not everybody
the-
agrees with my lifestyle. I don't give a fuck what they think
Well,
about, and that doesn't
think
matter.
people-
I've worked for people when I am bisexual. I was the only bisexual in my department until recently.
Mhm.
Everybody in my department was very Christian, and it was not, they support it, but that was not their belief. They did not believe it. That didn't mean they didn't love me any less or respect me any less. In fact, they treated me with probably more respect. I was like a little sister. I never once felt discriminated against for any of that. But, to say that this guy is saying just because he doesn't believe in that lifestyle does not mean he does not still love everyone and still support those people. Just because he doesn't agree with it does not mean that he is not going to support those people and not bring them on. So
Well,
he has
that's-
them. I mean, he's not discriminating, and you're making it
Well,
sound like he is discriminating against
Oh
them.
no,
He
no.
isn't.
I was going to ask like people on his development team if they were gay and stuff, and they know his views, they may feel not intimidated, but they may feel like at odds with it. They were just like, we're working with somebody who has a viewpoint on my lifestyle. I'm like, even though he is a
So-
good developer, a good artist, musician, or whatever,
And that brings up the point. People feel like they need to then. So what does that mean? That developer cannot have that view because this person is
I mean,
that way?
that developer can have that view. He can express it as freely as he wants. I think it's going to be people who are looking at the game and people who may be working on the game. They may feel some kind of way. They may have their own views.
Then they shouldn't be working
that
there.
might contradict.
Then they need to leave.
Well, yeah, and that's what some
because
people
they're not the
may-
boss.
Right, and that might be some the other developers not contradiction, kind of thing. Just like, I know he has this viewpoint, but my goal here is to help make a great game and get that out. I could overlook his viewpoint, whatever that may be, but I'm coming here to work on that game. And that's what I think some people might not get when they say, hey, don't support this game because of this viewpoint.
And they're entitled
You
to
sometimes not say you do, you like you said, Kathleen, it's up to you if you want to buy the game or not. If you think it's going to look fun, if you're looking at reviews and stuff, you want to go in and play the content and get the experience, and you're going to pay for that experience, then go in thinking it that way. Of this one person's views about this, about somebody's lifestyle or community or whatever. You can have that. But if you're not saying big, I shouldn't say big enough. If you're willing to still buy the game so that you can support everybody else, some people will keep that in mind. Some people would be like, I will buy Borderlands 3 or Shadow Complex because I want to support the team who develops it, who actually did the crunch hours, who actually did the
because when
majority
there's
of
a
the
whole
work.
team behind it and not just a single person.
Single person, yeah. A lot of people just view that single person being the focus of that product because that might be the director or executive producer or someone who comes in and has to do the PR speak to sell their game. They focus on that one person because it's a well-known team lead or something like that. So
I want to cut in for just a second here because we're getting super serial here because I don't know why doesn't anybody take me serial? But I just want to point out for a second there, Kathy, you said something that made me really happy for a moment. you said that somebody was getting lambasted, and all I had in my head was visions of somebody standing there with a blindfold and a cigarette and just getting pelted with like sheep.
Because
wow, I'm so glad that was the thing you took out of my out of that. Thank you, Larry. I'm so glad.
Oh, it wasn't all of it. It was just the one thing
no.
that
You know
stuck out
what?
like
This
a
is
sore
why I
thumb
don't
by
talk very
contrast.
much. Thank you.
Kathleen, can you
It
just
just contrasted heavily.
just cut that out, Kathleen? Could you edit that out?
Unfortunately, we're live, so no, I can't.
But I think, like me, I'm more interested in playing Streets of Rage 4 than I am Earthworm Jim. I rather play Alien Hominid HD than Earthworm Jim. I played the game back in the 90s. It was a good game, but I played better shooters in a sense. And like I said, I didn't even know anything about this person's game. I mean, not person's game, this person's viewpoint.
Well, it is their game.
Yeah, I knew about Earthworm Jim, and I'm happy that it's making a comeback. It's just that I didn't know this person's views. But what really spoke to me about this whole thing was just like people just didn't care. People didn't really respond excitedly about Earthworm Jim than they did like Wonder Boy or
If they release it to Switch, I'd be hype.
I
think it's where it's being released too.
Yeah, that's the big piece of it. But even with that part of the equation, I did see quite a bit of holy fuck yeah, Earthworm Jim's coming back around again. So
yeah, I would love to have Earthworm Jim. I'm just not going to pay $150 for an Intellivision.
Well, Larry, did it Interplay own
Does
it?
it play on the other, the original?
I believe it. I think it was Interplay that did that was holding the rights, and I'll have to go back and look. And it might be Tommy may have even mentioned who it was that was holding the rights when he was on with us a couple of years ago. But I do believe I saw in the article that Interplay was the one holding the rights.
Because Shiny Entertainment, I think they were the developers.
Yes, that sounds right.
Okay. Because man, I don't even remember. I thought Interplay was out of business. Did they release anything?
I have no idea. But again, if you go back to that our interview that you and I had with Tommy, he said that basically they were just dangling the rights for Earthworm Jim over Tommy and everybody else's head, going, "You want it? You're gonna pay up, way, 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 way more than the value of this IP if you want it, even though it's like your fucking thing." And it sounded like they were just kind of being assholes about it. So apparently, like I said, they must have come to some understanding.
Did they show any artwork of this new Earthworm Jim or gameplay? Or
no,
anything?
I mean,
just
it was literally just announcement that it's in the works and that they've got 10 of the 12 original working on it.
Okay. I mean, not to take anything away from this, I think, and I agree with you guys, I think it's going to be up to the person if they want to buy the game or not. And whatever reason that you want to buy the game, whether you want to buy it because it's going to be a collector's item, you love the series, you love some of the people who work on it, you want to see what it offers, then go ahead and buy it. If you have a certain viewpoint that you feel like you don't need the game, or you want to protest and not buy the game, that's going to be up to you. My thing is, just don't come out on the day that Bayonetta 3 or some other big Nintendo game come out, and I would be fine. That's all I care for. Because if you do, I'm definitely not going to buy the game, because I'm going to buy that Nintendo game. That's me, or a PlayStation or Xbox game, whatever big console and stuff. Hopefully, Kathleen, you're doing something in Fortnite, and I could just root you on, be like, "Get him, Kathleen, get him!" Dylan playing Borderlands 3 and just killing it, and I'm just like, "Yes, there go Dylan." Josh playing whatever he wants to play. The Dragon, what is it? Not Dragon's Tail.
Dragalia Lost.
Dragalia Lost.
There you go.
Like you're playing it on Switch or whatever, or iPad or something, and you're just enjoying it. Larry's cooking something, playing some indie game, and I'm just like, wishing him well, just like, yes, but I want your steak and I want your.
And then Eddie's over in the corner
I'm
playing
telling you
fucking
now,
The Order.
Larry, you better have that pulled pork with those Tostito chips.
Dude,
with
that
nacho
wasn't pork.
Huh?
That wasn't pork. That was fucking. That was chicken.
Oh, that was chicken. That's right. You better have that little advertiser meal again, so I can eat some more. And then we'll go some rounds in Metroid Prime or play something. Or the bar. Is it not the bar still? What was we playing with the mystery one on Switch? With the mask. You have to rewind time.
Sexy Brutal.
Sexy Brutal, yes. Just play stuff like that. It's a really great game, Kathleen. Like, I think it's on PC. I think it's on Steam.
I believe so.
Yes.
It's a really fun game. I think there's gonna be other games around that time. Or
you better turn that back on. Kathy's gonna kick your nuts.
there's gonna be there's gonna be other games coming out when that game comes out, and there's gonna be people playing stuff on their backlog or getting their new consoles. It's gonna be up to that person. I think it's just gonna be up to you as an individual. If you want to support the art, support the art. If you don't want to support the art because of the artist or one of the developers, that's also up to you. Other people can't make that decisions for you. You are the person that's going to put the money in that person's hand, and you're going to buy the game or not. No. So, but we shall see.
All right. Anybody want to throw in any final words on this?
I don't think so. I think Eddie summed me up good.
All right. I think we've milked this cow dry. Earthworm Jim joke. Yeah. All right. So let's wrap it up there. As always, thank you to everyone that made it this far and stuck it out with us till the end. If you made it this far, clearly you are my kind of masochist, and you should make sure that you check us out at our home at world11.podbean.com, all spelled out, all one word, where you can follow us there, and also check, if you want to streamline things a little bit, you can even check us out on the Podbean app for your additional convenience needs. You can also pick us up and find us on iTunes and Google Play Music, as well as Spotify. And you should totally be checking out and following us on our Twitch channel that Kathy has put lots of hard work into. And make sure you're peeping all the fun stuff. If you miss the live streams on Twitch, you can catch everything archived and uploaded onto the YouTube channel, where Josh and I have kind of been working on picking away at that and getting a few things up to snuff. It's closer than it was, but it's still got a ways to go.
Yeah. Yes.
So additionally, like that Facebook page, follow the Twitter thing. If you Instagram, you should Insta follow us. I don't know. After that, we're gonna go have some Insta mashed potatoes. In any case, other than that, I think we've covered it all. And I want to say, obviously, thank you to everyone that stuck it out with us. Thank you to my wonderful co-host. We actually had the full fucking house tonight. We assembled Internet Voltron of stupidity. So thank you to Kathy and Dylan and Eddie and Josh. And as always, I'm your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder, and we'll peep you guys next time on World 11 Podcast. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And we'll see everybody next time on World 11 Podcast. Bye.
Peace.